Hello, my loves. How are you doing? I hope you're having a fabulous, fabulous day. I wanted to show you my way of tracking my reading. I really hope you guys can see. If not, I will kind of in-depth explain everything that's going on and just show you how I've organized. I just like organize this stuff. There's like some deeply weird part of my lizard brain that loves checking things off. So I actually keep track of my rating like on Goodreads. Then once I'm finished, I upload it to Storygraph, and then I also mark it in here. um, I started doing this, I think, oh my gosh, I actually can check this because I started doing this stuff in this notebook. Yep. I started doing it right here in 2021, and it's 2024 and I'm still doing it. To begin with, I'm actually going to flip to this page, which is my true currently reading page. On it, if you can see, I will bring it up to, whoa, I'll bring it up to you. I have a list of what's here. It says carryover, and these are all the books that I already started in 2023 that I have not finished, except one of them I finished today, and that is The Furrows. Some of these I actually started reading in 2021, some of these are 2023, etc., etc. And I only started keeping track of start dates in 2023, so I have that listed for some of these. It drives me wild when I don't write the date consistently, but I'm trying to get used to having a little bit more chaos on the page because, yeah, like I'm in general kind of chaotic with everything, and so it's really funny to me how I'm oddly perfectionistic about this stuff to the point where like other versions of this I'll show you later. But yeah, I'll get back to that later. But yeah, basically I have my carryover. This is the first time I've done it like this. If I can turn to a different page, this is how I did it last year. So I didn't indicate the carryover, I just kind of started. And I think it's helpful to like remind myself when I did start these and make it really clear like what was truly started in 2023, what was brought over. I think that'll be personally helpful. What I was mentioning earlier is like I have finished 3 of these books here, but because I can't find my green highlighter, I'm just not marking them, and that's really silly. So I'm trying to bring more chaos into this, maybe more colors, just in case like if I lose one pen, I don't feel like, oh my god, I can't complete my thing, I can't highlight it, because it's like really personally satisfying to like highlight over, I'm done, I've done this. So yeah, that's how I keep track of this. I add these here. I tend not to add stuff that I'm reading on Libby or other audiobooks on here for some reason until after I finish them. I don't know why. I think it's because it feels so much easier to like DNF one of those books. So yeah, I just don't mark them. Alrighty, and then to this page, I've also kind of changed up how I'm doing this page. This is the books that I have finished. I mark how many books I want to read here, and then I kind of highlight them in. Once I'm done, I've also included my page goal, and then for each, I like to kind of like mark when I've read my books. This isn't actually exactly accurate. In the past, if I will turn to that page, in the past, I will just start marking them up and kind of go down. So like if I read 4 books in January, I would mark up, and I did, I think, I marked up like The Plague, Fed Up, Our Wives Under the Sea, and Purple Hibiscus. So like I went all the way down into February. And then like I went down this whole row, and then once I filled all these up, I went on to the next page and I started filling things in here. The reason, which by the way, that reminds me, I have to add in, don't fear the Reaper. I'll put a little I because Stephen Graham Jones is Indigenous. The reason why I never actually made this spread I never made a video about this is because when I was filling these out, I forgot the month of May, and it embarrassed me so deeply. I was like, I cannot show this to anyone. But yeah, so this is how I do this. This is kind of how I plan this out. I'm trying to make it give myself more space because I do want to be semi more accurate with when I've read these books, because it does then make it easier for me, like in reading wrap-ups, if I want to have a physical thing that I can look at to let me know. But I also have given myself quite a lofty goal. I actually set my goal last year lower than I originally intended, but I've been able to like meet and surpass my goals for the last few years. So I'm like, you know what? Full send, let's just say 75 and see what happens. And I can add here the furrows, and I'll write that this is by I'll do a B because the author is Black, a W because she is a woman. I just kind of like to give myself these personal little indicators. So, you know, if it's a queer story, I'll kind of also call out if it is like translated, if it's written by a woman. I think that information is it's kind of like on a glance nice to know, especially the translation bit, because that's kind of a metric that I pay a lot of attention to in my reading. But yeah, it's just something I include. I do admit, though, there are definitely some challenges with keeping track of it like that. For example, the author of the furrows, what's her name again? Let me look that up. Namwali Serpil. She is herself an immigrant to the U.S. And so, you know, she's an immigrant to the U.S., but she's not telling a story. Her characters are not immigrants. So, you know, how does that relate? What kind of information does that give? I do think that there are definitely gaps in how you count that. I also think similar things about like sometimes indicating someone's gender, where, you know, that there is a fluidity to that. And so am I kind of, what is what am I trying to indicate? What am I trying to tell myself when I do that? That's just kind of my own personal rants on the matter. And then once I hopefully fill up all these spots, I have a bunch of blank space here so I can keep going down. And I might like include like a little legend over here just so that I like can keep track of what I'm writing here. But yeah. Let me see. Oh, the other thing I kind of wanted to show you guys, a little other weird thing that I do, is I keep track of books that I've acquired, where I've acquired them, and then I go through, and once I've read them, I highlight. And my goal is always to like highlight all of the books that I've acquired. And so I can actually add 2 books here. Let me go get them so that I can write them down, because I got 2 books when I was in California. One of them was a gift from my father, so I don't count that as me being a silly goose and purchasing more books than I need. So these are the 2 books. This is Manazuru by Hiromi Kawakami. And I wanted to get this book because I've read Strange Weather in Tokyo and The 10 Lives of Mr. Nishino. And so I was still very curious because I really love Strange Weather in Tokyo. I have my whole review on that book. And then I did not like the 10 Lives or whatever of 10 Loves, sorry, not 10 Lives, 10 Loves of Mr. Nishino. So I was just kind of curious, like, you know, like, what do I really think about this author? I'm so confused. So I can add Manazuru. I also like how I stopped to look, I have authors, here I don't. I guess I can go and like add them in. Battle Royale I have literally right over here. I'll deal with that later. But yeah, this is an example. Like I do stuff like this all the time where like I'll start a system. I won't be consistent. Like here I didn't indicate where I got these books. And these books weren't all got in the same place. Here I've like marked where I got them, etc., etc. And this is the Hidden Life of Trees. Apparently an amazing read. Peter Wohlleben. And here we have Hiromi Kawakami, Hiromi Kawakami. Okay, and there, that page is filled up. And soon it will be all marked up as well. Anyway, that has been me showing you guys how I organize my physical reading, I don't know what you call this, like note-taking, tracking, my physical reading tracker. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know, you know, how do you guys keep track of your reading? I'd be really curious to know. Do you guys also do this? Are you guys also as weird about it as I am? I'm obsessed with like marking things off on a list. I'm sure it has something to do with ADHD, but I'm not really bothered to find out. Anyway, I will see you in my next video and have a great time until then. Bye bye.